Hey guys, I am Mama
Turn
Turn
left onto Avenue Louis Pasteur, then turn right onto Fenway.
I love Google Maps, really do, especially around the city. We are in the car. My husband had taken a few days off for Azariah surgery, and we are going to do an update for him. He is our 15th child, and he has trisomy 18 and just had a VSD surgery. So during the VSD surgery,
Turn right onto Fenway.
the VSD, a PDA, and then another thing that they had to close off. So he had that surgery and has been recovering. He had the surgery on Thursday, and
Continue on Fenway for
today is
3/4 mile.
Monday. And so I thought I'd just update you guys where he's at. He has been doing fairly well. There's been a mix of like using paralytic as far as like during cares and not cares, like when they suctioned him and that type of stuff, they were using a paralytic. Now they've come off the paralytic. They've come off some of the like intubation type medicines. So there's times that he is awake and alert, not as very often, but he is. And then he has lots of periods of sleep. So just kind of figuring out where his comfortable spot is in the sedation process. He will remain somewhat sedated for a little while because he has the breathing tube still. So other good things that have happened are he is making his own like electricity. So he was on a pacemaker, or is on a pacemaker, and he's really starting to make his own like electricity, they say, like in his heart. So his heart is able to beat and like keep a rhythm. The rhythm is a little bit lower than they would like to see on a normal basis, but he also is on like sedation medication, which would make it lower as well. So basically they set his rates kind of lower and are allowing his heart to do the work. So all day today, his heart, well, last night and today, his heart, it has been doing the work. So yeah, what their plan is, I guess, for tomorrow is see how he is overnight and then discuss how many times he like dipped below like the lower of the rates. And then decide, I guess what they would do next is they would take the pacemaker off, but leave the wires in, and then but have the pacemaker in the room. So if he dropped below, then it would be like available, but yet at the same time weaning him off of that. So it's just kind of like weaning him off things one at a time or two at a time. Another thing that happens a lot in surgery is they get a lot of fluid.
To turn left onto Boylston Street.
They get a lot of fluid in them, so he's really puffy. His hands are puffy, his feet is puffy, everything's puffy. The baby boy's puffy. So which is kind of funny because he looks chubby and he looks kind of cute with all his puffiness, but obviously it's not good.
The left lane to turn left onto Boylston Street.
So we are trying to get some of the puffiness off by diuresing him, which is like a medication that will help like take all the fluid off, which should also help with his lungs and all that fun stuff, because all your body works together for good, right? Yeah. So all the pieces of the puzzle are all together yet separate. So we're just working on I'm not really doing much. I'm there to support and love him. So what I've been trying to do for myself during this period, so his bleeding, I'll explain that in a minute. His bleeding has gotten much better. He still has a chest tube and then like a stomach tube that take any extra stuff off and like drain it at some point once they feel like he doesn't have...
In a quarter mile, use the right lane to take the ramp to downtown Boston.
That much drainage, then they'll be able to like pull those tubes. his incision itself has been closed off. I guess sometimes they leave the chest open, but they didn't need to leave the chest open. They were able to close that off. So the incision itself is closed over. There's just tubes like coming out of the tummy. So, or out of the chest, like below where the incision was, probably like the bottom of the incision. Yeah, so the incision looks good-ish. There's no infections, anything like that. None of the blood work is coming back that he had an infection. He had some, like, he had lower, he had a lower temperature the other night, and so
in a quarter mile, merge onto Starro Drive.
Sometimes small babies will get a lower temperature if they have like an infection or something going on, so they put them on antibiotics for that. I don't know how I feel about that, but at this point I'm just going to trust him. I just feel like I don't want him to be on antibiotics and then like have an antibiotic resistance at the same time. Like if he needs to like prevent an infection or clear up an infection, then he needs that too, right? So, yeah. So that's just what they're doing. They chose to do that. They know what they're doing. Yeah. So what I've been doing is pumping. He is able to actually be on feeds now. So they started him yesterday with Trophics feeds, and now they're like putting it up so that he'll get more feeds. So that's what he's doing right now, is getting more feeds. I'm not entirely sure how much he's getting, but I do know that he's just getting pure breast milk at this point, which is really exciting for me because I've been trying so hard to increase my supply for this special time after surgery so that he could hopefully just be on breast milk after surgery. And so I know that he has enough syringes. He's only had breast milk so far since the surgery, and he has enough syringes for overnight tonight for breast milk. So I'm excited for that because I'm still pumping. I'm trying to be very committed to this pumping thing.
In 1,000 feet.
I am heading back to Ronald McDonald's house because I do not know the next time I'm going to have this opportunity.
Use the middle lane to...
See, there's really nothing I can do.
Take the next left toward Charles River Dam Road. Signs for Massachusetts 28 North. Then use any lane to turn left onto Charles River Dam Road.
There's really nothing that I can
do. At the
do.
light, use any lane to turn left onto Charles River Dam Road. In a quarter mile, turn right onto Charlestown Avenue.
In case you need directions. Yeah, there's really not too much that I can do. I mean, me and my husband have been sitting in the room with him almost all days, unless we're like eating or whatever, then we're in the room with him. But physically, like, he's not awake, he's fairly sedated. There's nothing that I physically can do to manage him, right? So I can be there to support him, but really he's not even like getting upset because he's so sedated. He is starting to come off of that, so probably tomorrow he'll really need more of us, or more of me. My husband is going to be here for a little bit tomorrow, and then he needs to go back to work. But yeah, so now's the opportunity. Another thing is that my husband only has a couple days off a week, so next time that he has off, he's going to be going up to our home
Charlestown Avenue, Gilmore Bridge
in Maine to butcher 2 pigs, and then he'll go back to work, and so I won't see him, and we won't be like rearranging people, and I don't think we're going to be rearranging people. Maybe we will, I don't even know, but I'm just planning not to be doing whatever back and forth. If I do anything, I'll probably just be going on the shuttle during a day to see the kids, that are at the Ronald McDonald House, but not like an overnight or something like that. So that's my plan. Figured I would go back, although it makes me feel guilty because I've gone back a couple times since my husband has been here, but it's like a good feeling to know that if something happened, that there's a huge accident over there, if something happened and they called us, we have the vehicle and we can be there in like 20 minutes if it was the middle of the night. So that's really like a blessing in knowing that. I think another thing that helps me make this decision for going back is the other night when I was there, and it was like horrible, right? It was horrible to watch him go through these really hard times, but there was nothing that I could do medically to help him. And I have seen yesterday the neighbor
take the next right onto New Rutherford Avenue, then take the ramp to US 1.
In our unit, the neighbor, they had something really serious happen as well, and they immediately had our nurse went in there like right away, and a bunch of the staff, they pushed the button, there's like 30 people there, and then they actually did surgery like right in the room. I guess they can do, it was later explained to me that they can do surgery in the room. They put like partitions up and they can do like surgical type things in the room. So I saw how much like all the teams and everyone fight for a baby's life, which was just incredible. It makes me feel more comfortable
Take the ramp to US 1, then merge onto New Rutherford
as a mother
Avenue.
to know that he's in really good care. Yeah.
In 1,000 feet.
Not my idea of fun driving in Boston. Glad I'm not driving. I only drove once.
At the light, use the left 2 lanes to turn
On a
left
Sunday,
onto
it's a lot
Chelsea
easier
Street,
on a
Freedom
Sunday.
Trail.
But it's like, oh, go across 5 different lanes and then you'll reach your destination. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that is pretty much his update. I feel like I'm missing something, but I might not be missing something. So I'll keep you updated on what's going on. Oh, basically, like once all the heart stuff gets taken off, like the tubes and like he's not on the pacemaker and that type of stuff, once all that stuff happens, then we will go upstairs and see how his lungs are functioning and where we want to be with his lungs and do all that stuff upstairs, which I'm actually glad for, because before I think I spoke about the difference between like cardiac and the NICU and the differences and such, and I can really see now that my son has had surgery, I can really see the way that everything needs to be very precise and professional. And I'm not saying that the NICU isn't precise and professional. You can just see the way that things are done on the cardiac unit are done, like, because they're used to dealing with lots of surgical type things.
Continue on Chelsea Street for 3/4 of a mile.
Whereas the NICU can do those things, but their focus is more on like the whole baby as well as like parent-baby connections. So that's just where the difference is, and I think that there's a time and a place for both of the units in both of like the scenarios. So one's not right and one's wrong, but I'll be thankful like once we do get off of the cardiac unit and all of that's situated, I'll be thankful for that as well, because then I know that it's like I'll be able to go up back to the NICU, and there'll be other ways that I'm able to like bond and take more care with my son and those types of things. So I'm excited for the thoughts of that. Today it's hard like not to like be right there with him, and I can't like, I used to read to him a lot, and I can't read to him a lot really close to him because then he'll start looking around. So I've been reading books to my other children, and we have like a Yodo player. I'll probably do a video all about this because I'm just learning about it and it's a pretty cool thing. So I've been doing some stuff on like the YouTube channel thing and then some stuff on a Yodo player, and so just reading to the kids and later on it can be used for Azariah as well. And then today I was working on, do you guys remember the sale that I showed with all the dresses? I got a couple outfits for Azariah, and I said that I was going to take the things off and then put snaps on it. So I did that. I took and like came down one side and I took the seam out, and then it took me a while to figure out it's a different type of snap maker, and I was like, what the heck is going on? I was trying to do the snap maker for like, I don't even know, probably like an hour until I actually figured out the appropriate way to put it in, because of course it doesn't have directions that is telling you what way things are supposed to go, and they kept like popping off and all that stuff. But anyway, I figured it out and I got one of them complete, so pretty exciting about that. I think tomorrow everyone's going to meet at the hospital, and we are going to, but by the time you guys see this, it will already be done, said and done, done and over, said and done, whatever you want to say. Anyway, so tomorrow we will be going to the hospital, and I think we're gonna do cake for my daughter. Just turned 16 at the hospital, so we'll probably do cake for her there. I'm trying to navigate, guys. Not the road, navigate life. All right, well, I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful day.